Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. It is that time again where we take a break from questing and have a day filled with nothing but party banter. Enjoy!
You should learn to watch your back.
Well, you need to... Your ass. No, your mum's ass.
Great. I'm glad we understand each other. Despite what you think, I am not stalking Lady Josephine.
How in the world would anyone possibly think such a thing? It's not as if you shadow her, badly, around Skyhold at all hours, without speaking a word. But if you wish her to call the guards, by all means, continue.
So, you'd rather I just talk to Lady Josephine?
Of course not. I wish you'd stop bothering the poor dear. There's no need for you to terrorize and mortify our ambassador when you're pathetically far beneath her.
You are not Talvashoth, Iron Bull. Not really.
Well, that's a fucking relief.
No more than our Inquisitor, whose parents left the Qun before he was born. You are no beast, snapping under the stress of the Qun's harsh discipline. You are a man who made a choice. Possibly the first of your life.
I've always liked fighting. What if I turn savage, like the other Talvashoth?
You have the Inquisition. You have the Inquisitor. And you have me.
Thanks, Solas.
You know what I like about you, Chuckles? Your boundless optimism.
It's comforting that whatever qualities I lack, you'll invent for me, Varric.
No, really. Why else would an elven apostate help crazy chantry folk close a hole in the sky?
When you put it like that, I must concede your point.
You really spend most of your time in the Fade?
As much as is possible. The Fade contains a wealth of knowledge for those who know where to look.
Sure, but I don't know how you dream, let alone wander around in there. Especially when the shit that comes out of the Fade generally seems pretty cranky.
So are humans. But we continue to interact with them. When we must.
I can't believe you picked the absolute worst of my books to read. Why not Hard and Hightown?
I have enough mysteries and investigations of my own.
What, you don't want to solve more in your spare time?
Then you killed my favorite character in Chapter 3, so I threw the book across the room.
A critic. Say no more.
Sera, do you believe in the Maker?
Yes. Some of it's a bit off, but... Wait, why?
I just thought, the way you've lived.
What? I don't belong because I never joined some holy whatever?
But you're a thief.
I take back. And you kill people.
True, but only those I must.
Ones who deserve it. Right, we're real different.
I can't believe I was in the Fade. Physically.
You think that is an achievement of which to be proud?
It's the second time that's been done in all of history. That's not nothing, Solas.
In all of human history.
The Fade is still a mystery to us humans, yes. Probably always will be.
Perhaps it's best it remain that way. This reminds me of Skyhold.
Demons, flappy robes,
Thieves, dog stink,
culty shits.
treacherous taons.
What? It's not a proper game of your people are shit if you make up words.
Taon is a Ferelden title, beneath only the family of the king. I'd have expected you, of all people, to know that.
Well, that's... smartasses.
Too late. I believe that's my round.
Piss.
If we freeze to death and get eaten by wolves, I'm blaming the Seeker.
I notice you used a nullification enchantment combined with an offensive attack.
The nullification disrupts any ambient magic lying about. Things then burn hotter.
Don't you then waste an inordinate amount of magic overcoming your own nullification?
Ah, no. I warp the veil slightly to affect distance between the spells.
Of course. Have you considered snapping the veil warp to enhance the relative energy?
Like cracking a whip. Yes, tried it once. Made my teeth taste funny.
Two of you doesn't make this normal.
Why does air even come in different temperatures?
Be wary. These mountains are the perfect place for an ambush.
Not the most idyllic mountainside, is it?
Terrible what has been done to this place.
Always knew you were up to something.
Sorry.
For what? Trying? Better than most ever do.
Reminds me of the High Reaches, but with more snow.
You didn't always have a beard.
I didn't emerge from my mother with a hairy face, no.
I saw a sketch of Todd Reynard. No beard.
Warden Blackwall had a beard.
Ah, that explains everything.
The veil is fat here.
Sera and I were just talking about you. We need you to settle a question for us.
Sera's involved. So this question will be offensive.
Yes, probably. Sorry. You make friends with spirits in the Fade. So, are there any that are more than just friends? If you know what I mean.
Oh, really?
Look, it's a natural thing to be curious about.
For a 12-year-old?
It's a simple yes or no question.
Nothing about the Fade or spirits is simple. Especially not that.
So you do have experience in these matters.
I did not say that.
Don't panic. It'll be our little secret.
Ass.
Now who's 12?
This place has seen fewer spirits than most. I will remember this when it is over.
This war? The Inquisition?
The people. How you fought against the tide. It is courageous. This place has seen fewer spirits than most.
Do you have any advice for fighting demons, Solas?
Survive the first 30 heartbeats, and you have already won.
So I should try not to die. Helpful.
I mean that demons are rarely intelligent enough to change their tactics. If you focus on defending yourself, you will see the full range of their abilities within the first 30 heartbeats. By then, you should be able to find a weakness and exploit it.
Ah, that is helpful. I will try to remember that.
Also, try not to die.
Let's do what needs doing, get out of here.
Val Royaux, huh? I remember the first time I visited it, some 30 years ago. The market was not half as large, without the garish statues, and far fewer stands selling those ridiculous frilly little cakes.
The Val Royaux market was once nothing but tents of oiled leather and mud, filled with ragged humans, selling strings of beads made of bone.
You saw this in the Fade?
Yes, I left that memory quickly. The smell.
Must have been ages ago.
Oh yes, it's much better now. I enjoy the frilly cakes.
You've seen many things in the Fade. How do you know they're true?
I don't. Everything in the Fade is a memory. And memories are all too easily muddied. Just like your history books. They contain truth, but reason and sense are required to extract it. Quite a chill in the air. I heard you in the training yard this morning.
Oh, I was running new recruits through some drills. Should I be quieter next time?
No. It's fine. Children don't learn unless you shout at them.
Where are we again? So I don't come back?
Your order, the Grey Wardens.
Not my order, as you well know.
Of course. But you may still have an answer. The Wardens see themselves the world's defense against the Blight, do they not?
Yes? Why do you sound so skeptical? Doesn't everyone know this?
When an archdemon rises, they slay it. What will they do when all the archdemons are slain?
Retire?
Without archdemons, there can be no Blights. Is that the reasoning?
Right. Where are you going with this?
Nowhere. I hope they are correct.
The air smells like rocks.
Don't you start.
I am reasonably certain I said nothing.
Don't have to. You're all fluttery from that Mythal place. Oh, Tevinter took our stuff. Except turns out elves did it themselves.
You cannot upset me with what we found there.
Oh, why's that?
Because, Sera, my genuine sorrow for the tragedy of our history cannot be diminished by a single moment. That you do not feel this, well, you have my envy and pity.
Well, you just... shut it.
How do you feel, Iron Bull? Do you need a distraction to focus your mind?
Well, this area's low on dancing girls. Sadly.
King's pawn to e4.
You're shitting me. We don't even have a board.
Too complicated for a savage Talvashoth?
A smug little asshole. Pawn to e5.
Pawn to f4. King's gambit.
Accepted. Pawn takes pawn. Give me a bit to get the pieces set in my head. then we'll see what you've got.
Hissing wastes. Hissing?
Mythal was some crazy shit, huh?
Not talking about it.
Really? That's what's off limits?
No, it's just simple. Demons and rubbish. Simple. The Vale is bored here.
Excuse me. The air strips the throat.
It is so dry, my fingertips are peeling.
So, ma'am, what do you think of Skyhold?
Why do you ask?
Well, I don't know crap about magic, so if the veil is thin or it's weak against demons somehow, I can't tell.
It needs gold caps on the towers, bunting in the courtyard, and a great deal of soap.
Ah, got it.
Does that noise ever stop?
Well, it's sand blowing on sand, in a place full of wind and sand.
Thank you. That makes so much more sense now.
Arse cakes! Shh. Wait for it. Ah, no echo.
It's fine. I didn't need that eardrum.
So much sand in the wind. My skin will never be the same.
Smell that smoke. People lighting campfires somewhere.
People used to live out here? Really?
Sand went down the wrong way. So what's it like shacking up in the circle?
Excuse me?
Well, I assume people do it, and you're people. So you have to have... I mean, come on. With those... Just forget I asked.
I shall.
So, you ever letting Blackwall off the hook, Jesika?
He is a coward who abandoned his men. A man who wishes to atone but lies to do so.
All right. So that's a no.
I chose to take him back. End of story.
I cannot help but feel as I do.
Sure you could. You won't, but you could. Now, isn't this better? Getting the burden of that lie off your chest.
And exchanging it for the burden of everyone hating me? Yes, so much better.
Hey, I don't hate you. You and me, we're good. Now that you know who you are, you can stop doubting yourself and start hitting crap again.
Why don't we hit a few bottles first, huh? So, if I were to convert to the Kyun, what place would I have in your society?
Ben Hasrath, perhaps, if you prove yourself.
And if I don't?
Oh, laborer, probably.
Laborer?
Strong back, legs, and laborers are important. You can't have the Tamasrans doing the heavy lifting.
Right. I'll pass.
Really? You don't want to see our pamphlet? Digging holes and filling them up again?
I like traveling with dwarves.
Glad to hear it, kid.
You're quiet, but the old song still echoes inside. Almost like Templars.
The veil is strange here, as if it were reinforced, but for a few places where it has been warped.
We're done here, right?
I read somewhere you can sink into sand. Just whoop, down you go.
You're buying Bianca, Buttercup. She's taken.
That thing is too complicated. Lots to break.
She's a particular lady, but the rewards more than match the effort.
That means you agree but don't want her to know. But she's just a thing.
Someone's jealous. She has that effect.
Someone's an arse. You're an arse.
You've walked into the Fade, Dorian, as did your Tevinter forebears.
With somewhat less cataclysmic results.
No observations beyond that?
Only that I'm pleased we got out. Demons don't appreciate a man with good hair. Wait. You're jealous, aren't you?
Don't be absurd.
Hey, Blackwall, what's the most limbs you've ever cut off something in one swing?
For the Wardens, battle is a sacred duty. A vigil kept to guard the world against destruction. It's not a game.
Right, same here.
Do heads count?
Heads absolutely count.
Then 3.
Nice. Down on the collarbone and through, right? That's how I get the good ones.
At least Corypheus's followers are suffering with us.
Look at how far it goes. You could ride for miles.
I've seen ruins like this all over Tethras. There's thousands out there. Some must have been bigger than proper cities like Denerim or Val Royeaux.
Much bigger, I promise you. All right, Bull. If you are prepared, knight to h4.
Arashok to g5. So, you giving up the Tamasran at b5, or the Ben Hasrath at h4?
Neither. Knight to f5.
Pawn to c6. Left your Tamasran hanging out.
And you your knight. Or Ben Hasrath, if you will. Pawn to g4.
Ben Hasrath to f6.
Tower to g1.
Ha! Pawn takes your Tamasran, or mage, whatever it is.
I get the idea.
Too much time playing with spirits, Fadewalker.
We shall see. The stars will guide us out of here. I hope.
Corypheus is a complex creature to draw upon so many different sources of power. He has his own magic. He draws from the Blight. The artifact he carries is elven. And now he uses a demon to create a false calling to fool the mages.
The false calling was Blight magic. The demon merely amplified its power.
This ancient magister is like a man drinking from 3 wine glasses at once.
And one of the glasses is poisoned.
You really think Ole works the way it is, ma'am? With all that infighting, all those selfish blowhards?
Orlais is selfish, but that ambition you decry breeds its own strength. Those who rule Orlais never fear treachery from the rest of the world. They have already faced far worse.
Well, that's one way to train your leaders.
Watch your step, darling.
If you have a moment, Bull, pawn to h4.
Arashok to g6.
Pawn to h5. Careful.
You're the one who lost his mage. Arashok to g5.
Queen to f3.
Oh, clever. Almost trapped my Arashok. Ben Hasrath to g8.
Mage takes pawn, threatens queen.
Arashok to f6.
Knight to c3. You've developed nothing but your queen.
Don't get cocky. You're still one Tamasran down. Tamasran to c5, by the way.
I will need to consider. After careful consideration, knight to d5.
Arashok takes pawn at b2.
Mage to d6.
Arashok takes tower. Check. What are you doing, Solas?
King to e2.
All right. Tamasran takes tower. Your last tower, by the way.
Pawn to e5.
Really? I've got my whole army bearing down on your king, and you're moving a pawn? Are you even trying anymore?
Think about it, my friend.
Anybody else vote that we never come here again?
All right, ma'am. I get that Skyhold needs a fresh coat of paint.
At the bare minimum. Ideally, we could have the battlements enameled or sheathed in marble.
But it looks good, right? With that silhouette, it's just daring somebody to try to attack it.
This is the limitation of your upbringing under the Qun, darling. Skyhold must not merely unnerve potential foes, it must entice potential allies.
Well, that's why we have you and Josephine, and apparently marble sheaths.
I shall be happy to return to civilization again. This weather is not ideal for travel in the mountains, my dear.
And that wraps up today's Party Banter video. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Please do keep yourselves safe, and I will see you again tomorrow with another new Dragon Age Inquisition video.